These performers were selected because they represent the thousands of people who kept the music playing under the worst possible circumstances this past year.
We're performing at Red Rocks. They wanted to know who kept music alive during the pandemic, and someone recommended us to perform here tonight, and we're all super excited about that.
It's going to be just like something we never dreamed could even happen, and so now that it's happening, I hope the kids have a chance to just kind of really think about how special it is and experience this, and we get to be on the stage where all of the world's most famous people have performed, and this is something that hopefully they'll remember for their entire lifetime, and just remember a wave of a socially distanced audience.
Have you ever played Red Rocks?
No. Big opportunity. We're really excited. They're hyping us up. It's great.
It's like you can play on the same stage as like Jimmy Buffett and Billie Eilish and all these big names, and it's really cool.
We are the Devlin High School Marching Band from Denver, Colorado. It is the honor of our lives to celebrate our democracy and the inauguration of our president.
Please help me welcome Becky Paschker and her drum major, Raina Hilden. Becky, let's start at the beginning. Tell us where your love of music come from.
Well, I think my parents really helped instill a love of music. They would play music for me when I was little, and I would sing and dance around the house. And then I started playing the trumpet in middle school band. I moved on to high school, and I did drum corps for 5 years, the Blue Knights Drum and Bugle Corps. So it's just kind of been with me forever.
Wonderful. Performing opportunities like this are a lot of work to coordinate, execute, and get prepared for. What inspires you to go above and beyond to create these experiences for your students?
Well, my students mean everything to me, and they deserve the very best. And when COVID happened, it was, how are we going to make things right for the kids, and how are we going to give them opportunities? And so it was all about still trying to keep our goals alive. And we had talked 4 or 5 years ago about the presidential inauguration parade. And so that was one of the goals that we had. And it was a little bit crazy to be applying for a parade that we didn't know if it was happening or not, but we still wanted to follow through with our dreams and our goals. And so I applied for our band to perform in the inauguration, and we got to do it. It was incredible.
Which is incredible. And watching the video, it's so inspiring for probably other bands as well to do the same. Tell me how you received support from your school and parents especially to do these performance opportunities during COVID, and what extra steps you took to ensure the group was safe.
Well, we're really lucky. We have a great principal at our school, and our school district really worked well to ensure that kids could be safe and we could do this together as a team. And so when we started kind of moving on in the process for the inauguration that it may actually happen, I contacted our district. And at that time, we were fully remote. We were all the way remote from Thanksgiving until after Christmas break. So all of our preparations were all virtual. We did Google Meets. I was in my room, my office, and my husband was in another room. And all of his coworkers heard me play the trumpet over and over for American Patrol. But we just had virtual practice. And we didn't know for sure if we were going to be in the inauguration, but we practiced, and I said, if nothing else happens, at least we've learned how to play this piece of music. So luckily, we really were diligent. We did everything following our COVID guidelines, and I'm really happy to say that we had no COVID incidents at all in our band for this year. We did our uniform fitting outside on a curbside uniform fitting. We had less than a week to put it together. So at like 30 degrees, we fit our kids in uniforms. They drove by, they picked them up, but it was all masks on instruments, on kids, on bells, all the time, and always 6 feet apart.
Congratulations of being so successful with all the preparation and keeping the students safe.
Thank you.
Raina, let's get to you. Let's start by talking about Red Rocks and the 80th anniversary. Tell us what it meant to you and your fellow students to be able to perform at this historic stage.
Yeah, it felt just really special to be able to have a chance to have live performances again. I think it felt a lot like how our normal competition performances feel, where, you know, we get to all sit in the stands together and watch other performers, and then, you know, you get to go and you're standing together just waiting to go on. And it felt really amazing also to be recognized in a performance that was dedicated to keeping music alive during the pandemic, largely thanks to Ms. Paschke for making sure that her students still had chances to perform and keep doing what we love.
It's so inspiring. It really is inspiring. I mean, living in Denver myself and going to concerts at Red Rocks, I have had goosebumps as I saw your videos on Facebook, rest assured. Talk to us about the preparation you had to go through to perform at the presidential parade across America, and what this experience actually meant to your band.
Yeah, it was really crazy because we had about a week to actually get our final performance together. We had been just waiting and just kind of saying, well, they haven't said no yet, so that's probably good. But I thought it was really amazing that everyone in the band really did their part with practicing at home and being flexible with when we were recording and practicing together. And I mean, kind of like Ms. Paschke's been talking about, that's been a goal for our band for years now. And it really just showed to a lot of the students how unified we are, the fact that we could complete one of our biggest goals, even in spite of the pandemic.
That's so true. That is so true. And again, inspiring to say the least. What is the secret sauce that brings your band together?
I would say that it's just how positive our community is. We really support each other in all aspects of life, both from staff and students. You know, our staff really emphasizes that we're here to perform well, but you need to be, you know, having a good time with the people around you. You know, all of us have fun at our practices. Our staff does a really great job of teaching us that, you know, if you make a mistake while you're in rehearsal, that's okay, because that means that you can fix it, learn from it, and get better. So I think it just really teaches our students that you can try new things and not be afraid to do that. And all the students, you know, we really just love each other. We call ourselves a second family, and of course, that's not taken lightly. We really do just love each other a lot.
And it's probably friendship for life, which is fantastic.
Yeah, seriously.
Becky, we both know the impact experiences like this can have on students. How do you feel these two experiences influence the students at De Evelyn High School?
Well, I really hope that the kids get away from this experience, that they take with them, that you can set goals and they can be something that no one ever would imagine you can actually accomplish. But if you put your mind to it and you work hard, you don't know how far you can go. And I hope that they realize that they're stronger together and that we're able to do way more than we ever expected.
Oh, I bet. What advice would you give other band directors?
I think number one is that it always has to be first about the relationships with your students, because that's huge. And if your students care about you and they care about each other, then they're going to want to work hard for each other and for you. And so I think relationships is number one, and having really great communication, because then everything else can go from there. But it has to start with a true, genuine, kind, caring relationship.
Which shows clearly between the two of you. Thank you so much. You have certainly set the bar very, very high. Now tell us what's next for you and your students.
Well, hopefully COVID doesn't mess this up for us, but we are going to be traveling to Texas for our first Bands of America competition in October. And then last year, we put together a really great video to apply for the Tournament of Rose Parade for 2023. So we're crossing our fingers big time, because we would love to be in Pasadena in 2023.
Oh, keep your fingers crossed. Wonderful. Becky and Raina, thank you so very much for taking the time today to join us. And congratulations on all you have accomplished, especially during COVID. Colorado and your school can be proud to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.